This is Beef Hor Fun, or rice noodles slathered in a yummy, savory, saucy sauce with lots of tender beef slices. This is one of those classic Singapore hawker char dishes, and I'll be showing you an easy and foolproof version of it, so let's go! First, let's give the beef a really quick marinade. These are thin slices of beef flank. You can use whatever you want, just slice them thinly. To the beef, add light soy sauce. Some ground pepper, white or black is up to you. Some sugar. I like that this adds a little bit of caramelization to the beef. Cornstarch. And this is optional, but I am adding a little tiny bit of baking soda. Baking soda is going to help tenderize the beef even more, but you really want to be careful. If you add just even a little too much, then your beef is going to have a weird bitter taste. Give all of that a stir and let that hang out and marinate while you prepare the other ingredients. Next, let's talk about the noodles. These are Hor Fun noodles or fresh rice noodles. You can also use kway teow rice noodles. To the noodles, add some dark soy sauce and gently stir through to coat. We do this right now because the rice noodles are quite fragile. If you do this in a pan, it will break it apart a lot more. Once you get it mostly coated just like this, it is fine. We are ready to cook. To a pan or wok, add some oil, and we want to use high heat for this. Once it's hot, gently add the Hor Fun noodles. Leave the noodles alone in the pan and don't touch it. We're letting the bottom caramelize just about 5 minutes or so. Then very gently flip the noodles over to the other side. And you see this charred sort of burnt bits, we want this. Anyway, let the other side get some charring happening too. So the charry caramelized bits will help to fake that wok hei effect that you get from hawker stall versions of this dish. Anyway, once you have something like this, remove from the pan and keep that to one side. Your noodles are cooked and ready to go, by the way. Alright, next to the same pan, add more oil if you need it. We are going to sear the beef. This is beef, so it cooks really quickly. You just want to let that sear and cook on both sides and then remove that from the pan and keep that to one side. I know this is a lot of separate cooking, but it's not that tedious, I promise you. You're using literally the same one pan. So, same pan because efficiency, right? Lower the heat to a medium and add some minced ginger, minced garlic, and some sliced onions. Saute until fragrant. To that, add oyster sauce, light soy sauce, and dark soy sauce. I like to do this at this stage because something magical happens when you stir fry the oyster sauce by itself first. It just gets more fragrant and deeper in taste. Make sure you give the pan a nice scraping too with your spatula to get all that delicious beefy char mixed in with all of the sauces. Anyway, once you can smell the oyster sauce, and you definitely will, add water or stock. I would definitely recommend that you use stock. I have some chicken stock here, but you can just use stock cubes, by the way. Be aware of the salt levels. Give all of that a stir and let this come to a bubbly boil. Once it comes to a bubbly boil, so something like this, add your vegetable of choice. I have here some chai sim. I also like to use bok choy, as well as that seared beef earlier. Just give all of that a quick stir and next add in a cornstarch slurry to thicken this up. You want to gradually add the cornstarch slurry and stop once you get a nice thickness and consistency. You know what's worse than a watery sauce? A super thick gloopy mess of a sauce from adding too much cornstarch slurry. No. This is perfection. I'm going to add more pepper here, but this is optional. I just like mine super peppery. Okay, and next, let's add some eggs. Carefully drop the eggs one at a time and let the eggs poach whole like this. You can scramble the eggs and stir it in like I did in my seafood Hor Fun video. The link is somewhere here, but I love to do this instead. Cover that with a lid, and I like my eggs with really nice runny yolks, so I'm letting that cook for just a minute or so and then turn off the heat so it finishes cooking in the residual heat, and your gravy is done. Time to assemble our super saucy, yummy beef hor fun noodles. Scoop some of the hor fun noodles onto a plate just like this. And then pour over all of that gorgeous, beautiful sauce all over the noodles. As a final touch, of course, you have to add that gorgeous poached egg. And this is what happens when you poach the eggs instead of scrambling it. I mean, I may have left mine in the heat longer than I wanted to, but imagine the eggs right here, okay? It's beautiful. And your beef hor fun is done and ready to serve. If you love this Singapore noodle recipe, you will love any of these too. So bye!